fixed it! Haha! So now I'm reviewing the last episode of the Beginnings box set, which is there. The Edge of Destruction. A two-part story originally broadcast on the 8th of February 1964. The plot for this episode is really strange, and I think I would reasonably call it the first Doctor Who confusing episode. Take that, Moffat. But anyway, basically, something's going wrong in the TARDIS, and the TARDIS crew, the Doctor, Ian, Susan, Barbara, start acting weirdly with each other, and sometimes Susan even tries to kill Ian, which is pretty funny. In the first episode, they begin to discover that it's not really each other's fault, and in the second episode, the last episode, it's only a two-parter, the first two-parter, the Doctor discovers that it's just the TARDIS trying to tell them that something's going wrong with it, and it ends up being something really stupid. Things I liked about this episode. There's a lot of them. Evil Susan with the scissors. That was hilarious. Susan stabbing the bed with a pen with the scissors. That was also hilarious. The script. The script was really good for this episode. Not just the script, but the acting of the script, the actual realization of it, was pretty actually amazing compared to the other two episodes in the Beginners box set. The scene where the Doctor begins accusing Ian and Barbara of destroying his TARDIS in order to take control of it themselves so they'll have a time machine was brilliantly realised. That scene just sings off the page. Really, the actual scene, you can't knock that scene. At the end of episode 1, you will see the strangest thing you'll ever see the First Doctor do. Ever. And that is sneaking around the TARDIS to check if the rest of the crew is asleep. It's so funny because it's just so out of character because he's messed up with all this TARDIS stuff going on, but they don't know that at that point. It's really funny, but really good. I like the fact that this episode didn't need a big cast to make it good. That's the unique point of it for me, because you've got all these episodes now where there's like so much cast, it's like The Simpsons film. But the stories are pretty weak. But in this one, you've got like 4 people in the entire episode, and it's just brilliant because they all work together really well. It's written perfectly. But yeah, small cast is good. It works pretty well, I thought. One thing I did really love in the second episode is the one shot of the Doctor like sitting up against the TARDIS console, I think it was, where he explains the creation of a solar system. That was really good, and in a single take that was pretty cool. There was no different screens where they could cut away or anything, it was just that one screen. And judging by the fact that William Hartnell had that thing where he couldn't remember the lines very well, I think he done really well there. And the last thing that I liked is the little scene at the end of episode 2 where the Doctor and Barbara are sitting down having a little conversation. That was nice. That made us smile. Things I disliked. There wasn't really anything I disliked about this episode, except 3 major things, but 2 of them are linked really well, so pretty much 2 really. There's only 2 things that I didn't like about this episode. Number 1 is that Barbara screamed at a clock in episode 1, which... why? Screamed at a clock. And the 2 joined ones that I didn't like to make the 1 is the fact that the ending seemed a bit rushed, and the solution to the entire thing was that a button had gotten stuck. But yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. It's actually made me feel better about today, watching that episode. So, best performance of the episode Edge of Destruction would have to be William Hartnell as the Doctor, because his acting in this is unmatchable even by today's standards, and he pulled off that script brilliantly. Personal rating of the episode. My opinion, no one else's. Not yours, not yours, or yours, or yours, or yours, or yours, mine. I would personally give this episode an 8 out of 10. Because besides those 2 things, I really can't think of anything wrong with it. It's a brilliant episode with brilliant cast, brilliant script, brilliant performance, and just a really enjoyable 2-parter episode. The Edge of Destruction, 8 out of 10 from Jakey. Go watch it. And that is the end of the Beginner's box set. The first 3 ever episodes of Doctor Who. And to be honest, it couldn't have ended in a better way, really.